Sheba. Fingers crossed.
All right. Thank you so much, Jennifer. Meanwhile, as we continue tracking votes across our area, the votes in Fulton County, very important. We are hearing from that Secretary of State that there are a little over 11,000 votes outstanding in Fulton County. That's where we find our Joe Ripley, who is live inside State Farm Arena, where absentee votes have been being scanned by those poll volunteers all night and into this morning. Joe, what can you tell us?
Yeah, so from 142,000 absentee ballots filed here in Fulton County, now to the last of them, which we believe we see back in the back there. An elections official confirmed that this is it. This is the last batch of absentee ballots that's getting set to go over. They have been processed and scanned. Now it's time to get those over to the warehouse for those to actually be adjudicated if need be, and then counted. And that should reflect in the count here later on this afternoon, we are told. Any minute now, we are expecting an official update from Fulton County elections officials here. He just got out of view of the shot here, but Richard Barron, the Fulton County elections director, was back there talking to his crew, many of whom have stayed here for hours trying to process and scan these absentee ballots. Of course, as we learn more, as we get those updates, we will bring those to you. But again, the Secretary of State's office saying earlier today, more than 11,000 absentee ballots still outstanding, yet to be counted in Fulton County, but it looks like that is coming soon, and we will keep you posted on that.